viewers, my name is Nicole Madziwa and thank you so much for watching TechNet TV, where we bring you morning news and what is in our local press today. And joining me here is...
My name is Chieftain. I would like to welcome you viewers for yet another exciting edition of our morning news, which you can also get live on our YouTube channel, that is TechNet TV, and also on Facebook.
So do not forget, if you're watching, please do engage with us. Tell us what you think and also your concerns with what will be in our papers. So quickly, let's just get to the Herald. I'm going to start with the Herald says government pays $64.4 million to white farmers. According to the Herald here, it says government has to date paid $64.4 million to 93 white former commercial farmers for the improvements they made on reallocated farms, a senior official has said. Presenting the ministerial statement on the state of economy last night, Finance and Economic Development Minister Professor Mtuli Mtuli said government was committed to finalizing compensation for all farmers who were affected by the land reform program in accordance with the country constitution and obligations under bilateral agreements. And I quote, "As outlined in the Transitional Stabilization Program, government is committed to finalizing compensation for all white farmers affected by the land reform program. Government is also engaging development partners and other bilateral countries with the view to mobilizing the requisite resources. Since 2009 to date, $64.4 million has been paid to 93 former commercial farmers as compensation for immovable improvements." What's your take? I remember we spoke about this earlier, and it kind of sparked debate. Some people saying that these white farmers never deserved any compensation, and so people had various views.
Okay, this is, first of all, this is outrageous. To start with, these white farmers, yes, they must be compensated, but the government must be clear on the audit that they conducted that states that the movable improvements that happened on the farms are worth $64.4 million. And continuing with the issue of wanting to pay these farmers at a time the country is facing critical foreign currency shortages, it's bad timing. Why I'm saying that? There are very critical areas of the economy or of the country that needs the foreign currency that they want to give these farmers. So this farmers issue must be set aside because it's not a national concern, it's not a critical issue. We should be focusing on how to get the foreign currency which we can use to improve our fuel situation, to improve the availability of medicine in the hospitals and other key areas that need foreign currency. So this compensation thing, I think to me it's sounding like a broken record. We should just shelve it for a moment, focus on rebuilding our economy, then we'll look at it later.
But I feel like, even if you look at it that way, there is never going to be any good time for those farmers to be compensated. Because ever since, it's been how many years? 30-something? Not 30 exactly, but
since 2000.
Ever since 2000,
yeah.
Since the land reform program. So how then do you say no for now, let's shelve it? Because those people still lost whatever they had.
Yeah.
And they ought to be compensated. And the president and his administration has, they are talking about the Second Republic, the new dispensation. So what exactly are you doing in the new dispensation that is different from what Mugabe was doing? So I think this is why they are trying so hard to compensate the farmers, even if it strains their coffers. So I don't know what you guys...
In as much as it strains the coffers, it's the ordinary Zimbabweans that are going to suffer. Those guys in power, they don't suffer. We are the people on the ground, the ordinary people who suffer. So at the end of the day, it comes back down to us now. We are the ones who bear the consequences of such actions. What else do you have from the Herald?
Okay, so from the Herald again, it says here, President reassures doctors, promises equipment to hospitals. President Mnangagwa has assured doctors and at public hospitals that government will ensure they are fully stocked with drugs and medical equipment while looking at their welfare. The head of state and government met a delegation of doctors at State House in Harare yesterday in a meeting arranged by First Lady Auxilia Mnangagwa, who is also the Ambassador of Health and Childcare, as a follow-up to an earlier meeting this year. This meeting mainly centered on the working environment for medical practitioners and their tools of trade. Head of delegation Dr. Faith Muchemwa told journalists that after the meeting they will leave Head of delegation Dr. Faith Muchemwa told journalists after the meeting that they were leaving the State House satisfied. She said they were invited by the First Lady, who has shown deep concern about their work. She initially invited us, and I quote, this is a quotation, this is what Dr. Muchemwa said. She initially invited us so that she could understand what was really going on, because she cared about the health of the population, she said. She arranged for us to meet His Excellency. Dr. Muchemwa said the meeting went well and expressed confidence in that their plight could soon be a thing of the past. It has been really good meeting and we were listened to. We have been assured that most of the things that we have been requiring are actually already on their way through the Honorable Minister of Health, Obadiah Moyo, she said.
Okay, before I comment, I would like to go to the Newsday, which has a similar story but on a different note. Pari Mpilo radiotherapy machines still down. Scores of cancer patients seeking treatment at public health facilities like Parenyato Group and Mpilo Central Hospitals are still facing access to treatment because radiotherapy machines remain unoperational nearly 2 months. It is a sad situation that the machines are not working, because that compromises the quality of treatment, because most of the patients in stage 3 or 4 require combination treatment of both radiotherapy and chemotherapy, said Lavmo Makurirofa, spokesperson of the Cancer Association of Zimbabwe. The president has spoken that machines or medical equipment is coming, and then we are facing a very serious shortage of equipment, especially at Mpari and Mpilo Hospital in Bulawayo, which are the two main central hospitals in Zimbabwe running right now, and that are offering cancer services. And I think the president must do the honorable thing and walk the talk. We need the equipment. We don't need reassurances. He's been saying this song for almost 2 years now. We need him to act now. And as for his wife running around, I will not comment.
But this also, it has been, past week, the papers were, there were some, like the Newsday claimed, some analysts, political analysts, that felt that the First Lady, was getting too much involved in policy itself. Well, from the world, even from the first world, our experiences with the First Ladies has been the humanitarian work itself, but not exactly involving herself in the actual, policies and stuff. And certain examples were given about, when she questioned the mobile network operators when tariffs increased and stuff like that. A lot of things were said. So, however, we will not draw much on that. But hey, that was what those analysts thought about how involved the First Lady was.
I think I will reserve my comment for now. I think there will come a very opportune time where I will give a very much detailed comment with regards to how she's doing her thing and her involvement in policy formulation and making, and so I will not comment for now.
Okay, so coming back again to the Herald, it says Mtuli beams light on economy. Okay, can you quickly do a Newsday story?
Okay, let me go to the Newsday story, which says inflation shoots to 75%. Zimbabwe's annual inflation rate for the month of April shot to 75.86%, up 9 percentage points on the March rate of 66.8% as the country fails to tame price increases. Last month, the statistics agent Zimstat adopted a new metrics to calculate the consumer price index, but going by the old base, the inflation rate for April would have been 175.326. However, in a country where trust in official data is slim, the figures remain disputed, with scholars suggesting that the country's inflation is now in the region of 200%. On a month basis, the inflation rate in April 2019 was 5.52%, up from 4.38% in March 2019. The month-on-month food and non-alcoholic beverages inflation rate stood at 7.85% in April 2019, gaining 2.75 points on the March 2019 rate of 5.10%. The month-on-month non-food inflation rate stood at 4.5%, gaining 0.4 percentage points on the March 2019 rate of 4.05%, Zimbabwe said in an update. So can you go back to Herald story so that we can link them?
Yes, of course. So apparently the Herald says that Ntuli beams light on the economy. Basically what the story is saying here is that the Minister of Finance is promising that things are going to get better. So people should just stay put, and wait for things to eventually get better. But we have noticed, however, this is going to be very, very difficult, especially for the normal Zimbabwean that is staying up there, because the Zimbabwe annual rate of inflation for the month of April rose to 75.86%. So in March we understand that it was 66.80%. So which means that it's continuously growing, and the rate that it's growing at for the short period of time, it's ridiculous. So I don't know if staying put and relaxing is the best alternative that people can actually do at this point in time, like how the minister is saying. So I don't know, because there are two stories that are really in conflict. The Herald is saying that the minister is actually beaming light on the economy, giving hope that things are going to get better. But when are they getting better? Because as salaries remain stagnant and they don't move, but prices of commodities just continue growing, more and more and more, and it's honestly ridiculous.
Okay, before I make my comment, I would like to move back to the Herald, where it has a story that says cost of living rises 5.52% in April. Zimbabwe's cost of living rose 5.52% in April, edging the annual inflation rate to 75.86% in rises, driven by food and non-alcoholic beverages. Latest official statistics show. According to Zimstate's data on prices was collected during the period from April 11 to 17, 2019, a period which also coincided with some businesses aligning prices with the parallel market exchange rate. Authorities expected the inflation to remain high till October, then subside towards the end of the year. I think now I can comment now. What we are seeing now is a state of confusion that is emanating in the economy as far as these official statistics are concerned. A lot of Zimbabweans have lost confidence in official statistics that come from government bodies, because they are always disputed, they are always cooked up, and from this instance, what Zimstate is saying is not what is on the ground. Just this morning as we were coming in, we passed by Coca-Cola. We heard that the daily parallel rate or the exchange rate is yet short to 600%, and what the official Zimstate statistics is saying is not what is on the ground. Not that they should base their statistics on the parallel market, but they should have something that is full of honesty, something that is in touch with the reality. And for real, we are headed for disaster, and I don't know why they are saying the inflation rate will subside towards the end of the year, especially from October. I don't know what would have happened, because we expected that since this is the season where farmers bring their tobacco, which is a very huge cash crop for Zimbabwe, which brings in a lot of foreign currency. We expected that things would change for the better, but now that the tobacco has come in, the flows will be closing soon, and things are getting harder. I don't know what would have happened in October that would make change.
Probably they're going to introduce a new currency.
Maybe they are mulling a new currency, which I think will also create more confusion within the market, and the price distortions that are existing in the economy will not go away any time soon.
That is true.
Yeah.
Do you still have anything
from the Herald? I have Zimbabwe realizes 455 million from mineral sales. Zimbabwe realized about 455 55 million from mineral sales, excluding gold and silver in the first quarter of the year, with chrome being the biggest contributor, an official has said. The first quarter was not bad for all minerals. In total, the country produced about 399,000 tons of minerals valued at 455 million. However, this figure was below our target by 30%. We had targeted to realize 471 million for the quarter. Minerals Marketing Corporation of Zimbabwe, MMCZ General Manager Tongai Mzenda told the Newsday. We realized 455 million, and my question is, where is the money? We need to see the money being channeled towards some critical areas in the economy. We need money for the medical supplies, medical equipment. We need money for fuel allocations. So we hope that the Treasury will do its duty and avail the money to the critical areas.
Yes, turns out we actually tend to make a lot of money, but we don't know where it goes.
Yeah, remember we lost
just channels.
a few years ago. A few years ago, we lost 15 billion, and there was no commission of inquiry into that.
No.
The Second Republic is very serious about driving the economy forward, but they haven't done anything about the 15 billion. And as of now, we have 455 million within our coffers, and we hope that it will be used wisely. What else do you have?
Okay, so coming back to the Herald, it says government targets 1,000 Zupco buses. You know how I like what I really like about government? They're so funny.
The buses.
The buses, especially on this issue of buses. It's like, because we tend to commute every day.
Yeah.
You know, so when you can't lie to us, you can't cheat us in that area. When you tell us that 1,000 buses are gonna come, we're gonna see it. You know.
Yeah, we must see them.
We see. So according to the Herald, it says government has moved to acquire up to 1,000 buses to strengthen Zupco fleet, with a long-term plan of increasing the fleet to over 3,000 buses as part of efforts to boost urban transport systems. Already 39 buses have arrived under this program, with 500 more expected from Belarus, 200 from South Africa and 100 from China. Information Publicity and Broadcasting Services Monica Mchangwa said on Tuesday during a post-cabinet briefing, and I quote, "Cabinet approved measures to revitalize and partially privatize Zupco as presented by the Minister of Finance and Economic Development," said Minister Mchangwa. More specifically, Cabinet agreed as follows: that government continues to anchor and underwrite the drive to recapitalize Zupco, including through the engagement of a strategic partner, and that to facilitate the success of the envisaged rapid transport system, local authorities to be supported in the construction and development of accessory infrastructure such as bus terminals, bays, and access lines. I'm glad that she did mention about the 39 buses that were commissioned, to be more precisely on the 16th of April. You know, those buses were commissioned by the President, Emerson Mnangagwa. However, I have not seen any of those buses. They're not hard to see because they are white. Just white.
And new?
And they're new, you know. And our local Zupco buses, they're orange, yellow, green, those funny colors. And yeah, they're very white and very new, like mini buses. Some of them are quite small, yeah?
Yeah, they're quite small.
Yeah. But I have not seen them since when they were commissioned. I don't know if they were commissioned to stay in the bay, or they were commissioned to actually, you know, transport people from point A to point B. Because in as much as we've complained about this, how, you know, even the combi fares, they have, you know, increased as well. So where are the buses? You know, if they're there, why not just release them? Don't commission them so that they sit in a bay area. You know, it doesn't make sense.
I think the issue in the transport sector is very sad. How can someone commission buses so that they can be kept somewhere? The buses should be doing great, or should be making rounds within maybe within the city or within the rural areas, wherever they are. The buses should be seen serving their purpose. I've seen that most commuter operators have taken advantage of this transport situation, and then they're hiking their prices. You know, from the CBD to an area like Glenview or Budiri or Machipisa, There's a time when these guys, they charge as high as $3 for a trip. The government must really be serious about the transport sector. It's a key driver of the economy, and they must make sure that whatever buses that they have, they must be on the ground. They must be doing their job. And as for these buses being commissioned and then they come in, I think to me it's a cliche. They should just bring the buses. They should not publicize it, because we are sick and tired of this.
Okay, so
what else do you have? Maybe you can check the comments from Facebook, or maybe from YouTube. Yeah.
We have Emmanuel watching. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for watching. He says he lost the plot. Unfortunately, we saw the comments later on. So these are some of the comments are from the stories that we were, talking about previously. So he lost the plot. He should remove the bond. That's the main issue. They keep robbing people. I think this is in light of and
the cost of living.
Yeah, exactly.
Percentage.
Yes. And Nyebe says stop about that 15 beads ananas. You guys. You and us, man. You and us.
Everyone is at pains.
Yeah.
With regards to that 15 billion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Emmanuel also says, why not get parts and assemble to create jobs than getting buses? I think the other problem is that in as much as, the government has spoken about buy local, but there's actually the local industry is as good as dead.
This guys, it's dead.
It's dead.
So it needs serious recapitalization so that we can create employment, we can be able to be self-sustenance in terms of the transport sector, which is a very, very important enabler of the economic revival that the Second Republic is preaching at every platform that they get. So we hope that the buses come in. We hope that the relevant ministries do something with regards to the transport situation in the country. We'll move over to the news day where there's a story that says ex-minister Mukupe faces jail over debt. Former Finance Deputy Minister Terence Mukupe is facing jail over a $24.237 debt after Quality Insurance Company approached the High Court seeking in order to have him caged over a 2012 debt. The insurance company issued summons for civil imprisonment against Mukupe at the High Court. He is yet to respond to the litigation. In his declaration, Quality Insurance says Mukupe is required to pay the claimed sum by virtue of a judgment which was obtained by the company against him almost 7 years ago. You, Mukupe, in courts are called upon to pay the plaintiff Quality Insurance the sum of $24,000, $234, with interest thereon at the prescribed rate of from November 2012 to the date of payment in full, the insurer said. So Minister Mukupe in hot soup over 2012 debt. I think the minister must just do the honor. The former deputy minister, must do the honorable thing and pay his debts. I think he's quite a very outspoken man, and for someone who's very outspoken to be in the papers for such a date, I'm not at liberty to divulge any other information that we have with regards to this case, but Mr. Mukupe must do the honorable thing and pay the debt.
Indeed. Unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, I'm done with the Herald.
You're done with the Herald?
Yes.
Okay. So we move on to the sport. Sport. I have one story from the sports side where Coca-Cola launched. It says 31st edition of the Coca-Cola tournament was launched yesterday at Pamshana High School in Bigita, with the Nash acting President Arthur Maposa challenging schools to desist from age cheating. In a draw conducted yesterday, Pamshana, the defending champions in the boys section, will face provincial winners from Mashonaland East and Midlands. Girls reigning champions Nyamahuru are up against winners from Mashingo and Matebele North. This year's tournament has moved from under 15 to 15 and under, boys and girls. Last year, a number of players from different schools at the nationals were disqualified from the tournament over allegations of age cheating. This put into spotlight the voting system, which includes physical screening. Speaking at a colorful launch yesterday, Pamshana, Maposa said the mentality of wanting to win at all costs has contributed to the cancer of age cheating. The will to get to the upper podium and lift the cup has led to challenges where in some instances we do have the win at all cost syndrome. Scout of cheating scripts in said. Cheating is really a problem in Africa, in African football. I remember there was one tournament where, I don't know which team, but all their players, they had to be changed after the tournament organizers were putting in place a very robust vetting system in as far as fighting age cheating is concerned. And I would like to comment on the Coca-Cola tournament. I think they are celebrating their 31st edition. This tournament has been a tournament that has been earmarked to identify talent from the grassroots level with focus in the rural areas. I think it has been a grassroots tournament since 1989, the tournament which saw the rise of Peter Ndlovu, who blew the people away, and 2 years later he was playing in the English Premier League for Coventry. The tournament has also seen the rise of players like Justice Majabu. You talk of Benjamin Konjera, the late Benjamin Konjera. You talk of Kenneth Nagol, one of the few players from the Zimbabwe league who played in the US in the US top leagues. We also talk of other players who've rose within the ranks of Coca-Cola tournament over the years. My biggest comment on this tournament has to do with how the tournament has managed to move football from the cities and towns to the rural areas. We've seen many rural schools winning the tournament. I think we have a school like Pamshana, we have Deure, we have Chemanza, we have Mashoko. They're all schools who have won the tournament, and Hippo Valley and Cheju Boys High have won the tournament a record 4 times. And we also have how the tournament has managed to incorporate the girl child, where it has managed to raise awareness with regards to how women should participate in football. And we have a school like Chijigama Kono in the girls section which has won the tournament a record 5 times, and we have also a school like Nyamauru, a rural school which has also won the tournament. And so this tournament will continue to be used as a springboard for new talent to be ushered into the world, and we would like to applaud Coca-Cola for such an initiative. 31 years is not a joke. Many people or many tournaments have been organized and with the aim to uplift grassroots football, but they have died. But Coca-Cola have stood the test of time. We hope that the tournament continues despite the economic situation that we are facing. That's my comment.
Okay, thank you very much, Stuart. Now moving on to what is trending on social media. Okay.
What's trending?
Should I start with Ndiweni?
Yeah, Ndiweni.
Okay, so Chief Ndiweni. So yesterday there was a situation. I think some of you guys actually had an encounter of a story or two over social media where Chief Ndiweni allegedly, not so sure.
It is being alleged, yeah.
It's alleged that he was attacked. It's not attack, but then he was confronted by ZANU-PF youths that wanted to confiscate his car.
It is being alleged as well.
It's being alleged. These are all allegations. So, unfortunately, Chief Ndiweni said that he wanted to get stuff from his car, so that these youths take the car. So apparently when he got into his car and when he jumped out, he came out with a jerrycan, and then he had to literally pour all the petrol over his car.
You wanted to burn it?
Yes. Allegedly.
That's a good one.
Yes, he wanted to burn it. So that's what happened yesterday. So there were different, the Herald, I hear it was saying he staged the whole thing. It never actually happened. No ZANU-PF youth was there and stuff like that. That's of course according to the Herald. But other publications have said that, it wasn't staged. It actually happened. So we're not sure what exactly happened. However, we managed to, borrow a clip from Zim Live so that you guys can hear what he's saying with regards to his for what he has been saying all along, like the issue of sanctions, because he's being leveled as that one chief that
He's been very vocal, and I think on the clip, he's trying to set the record straight on how he wants things to be done, or what is driving him to do whatever he is doing, or to say whatever he's saying. So I think our production team can run the clip for us, for you to watch and hear for yourself.
Brought upon this country because of land. Ndaba Zinduna is land. We've come full circle. We'll come back again. For myself and other traditional leaders, we will continue to call for sanctions that emanate in the local courts, sanctions that emanate in the national courts, sanctions that emanate in the international arena for those culprits who have been engaged in corruption and fraud with respect to the land reform program. We have a lot of evidence to that effect. It just so happens that they have now reached Ndaba Zinduna Mountain, where we have said enough is enough. So wherever those sanctions may emanate from, we call them most earnestly to come into play, so that those fraudsters, those individuals who have been engaged in wanton corruption, are dealt with, and that the likes of ourselves can live in peace within our community. This whole incident today emanates from that. And yes, indeed, some of the medias have got the wrong end of the stick. They've been trying to twist it into a political thing. I'm putting the record straight, that I'm starting and I'm stopping with Ndaba Zinduna Mountain. And I have no intention at all or whatsoever of engaging a reverse gear. There is no reverse gear on this issue. Ndaba Zinduna Mountain is ours. And
there you heard it for yourself, Chief Ndiweni giving his position with regards to what he intends to do or what he wants to be done. So on that Chief Ndiweni note, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us right here on Technic TV on our morning news headlines show. My name is Stuart Naburo. Have a pleasant viewing.
And my name is Nicole Manziwa. So join us again tomorrow as we bring you more news so that we can interact. So do not forget to like us on Facebook and on Twitter, and also subscribe on YouTube so that whenever we're live, you get a notification as soon as possible. Enjoy the rest of your day.